My life changed basically on July 9, 2001. At this time, I was a Marine Corps helicopter pilot flying the CH-46 Echo out of New River, North Carolina. This particular night, we went on a flight of 2 CH-46s down the New River to practice shipboard landings. What happened this night changed everything for me. A few minutes into our flight, my aircraft had an aircraft problem, so we sat on the deck of the LHA deck and we were talking about the issue that we had inside of our helicopter. A couple minutes later, I asked the gunny if I could lift. He told me, "Sir, did the other aircraft call departing?" I was like, "No, gunny, they didn't call departing." He said, "Sir, I don't see him." The sergeant that was in the back of the helicopter said, "Sir, there are rocks in this water?" I was like, "No, Sergeant, there's not." He said, "Sir, they're in the water, come up." When I lifted the helicopter up and kicked the tail around, what I saw changed everything for me. The helicopter was in the water and there was debris everywhere. The helicopter had crashed into really shallow water, so it was sticking up out of the water. We flew over, and a couple of seconds later, we did see 2 survivors. The only problem was there was 5 people inside this helicopter. So what happened to the other 3? Could we still get them out? After flying around for a couple of seconds, we couldn't figure out how we could get them out and if there were any survivors, so we went and we landed back on the LHA deck. The gunny went down into the water to help get the 2 survivors out. When he did, we figured out that the 2 pilots had survived. What made this so hard is that one of my best friends was in that helicopter, my combat crew chief, the guy that was assigned to me, the guy that I checked into the squadron with. He was one of my best friends, and we had a bond that you just can't break. The emotions were really high as the rescue helicopter flew overhead and their diver went down into the water. He went down into the water and almost immediately came back up, and they flew the helicopter over and landed on the LHA deck with us. The words still echo in my head that their sergeant said to our sergeant. As they met out in front of the helicopter, my sergeant just said, "Sir, they're all dead. Please take me home." What makes this so hard is this night we lost 3 good Marines off a 12-second mistake. As the mishap investigation unfolded, they figured out that inside the helicopter they turned on a red cockpit dome light. This red cockpit dome light made their goggles bloom out, and basically they flew the helicopter into the water. A 12-second human error changed a bunch of people's lives. It changed everything for me. A few days later, we learned that there had been another mishap like this just a year prior. When this mishap had happened and the helicopter had a hard landing, nobody ended up dying. The problem with this is that the information was not shared outside of that squadron, so that information never reached our squadron. You know, we don't know if that would have made a difference, but maybe it would have. You know, from that point on, I've dedicated my life to helping others make better decisions. You know, I want to ask, can we make a difference if we share our information? Can we make a difference if we share our lessons learned? A few days after that, as I was sitting out on the LHA deck watching the aircraft being pulled out of the water, I made a promise to myself and to Clark Beatty, my friend. I made a promise that I would make a difference. I made a promise that I would help others make better decisions, and hopefully tragedies like this wouldn't happen. It's so much more than that. It's how we make decisions in our life. It's how we make decisions as parents, as coaches, as teachers, as business owners. You know, what are the things that we do to train our people that work for us? I believe that God put us here for a purpose. I think that He put us here to help others out. I think we should strive to help others make better decisions, and it's my job to help you understand how to do that. It's my job to help you understand how to share your lessons learned, and it's my job to help you strive to do that in all walks of life. Some of the things that I'm most proud of is that I've served my country as a U.S. Marine Corps pilot. I fought in multiple combat tours in Kosovo and Afghanistan, and I led some of the initial missions in Afghanistan in 2001. Today, I serve as a helicopter EMS pilot where I help save lives. I've traveled all over the country helping people share their experiences and their knowledge. I believe that we all have stories. I have a lifetime of stories. What are we going to do with our stories? How are we going to share them to help people make better decisions?